Hi everyone, it's Danny from Life Lived Intentionally. Previously, we talked about two parables, the parable of the talents and the parable of the virgins, where we saw that Jesus used these stories to wake us up, to be ready and prepared for his return. We saw that he's entrusted us with time, talents, and resources, and he has high expectations in how we use them. Today, we're going to talk about one thing you're probably ignoring. But first, a riddle. What is the longest and yet the shortest thing in the world? The swiftest and the most slow, the most visible and the most extended, the least valued and the most regretted, without which nothing can be done, and with which many do nothing, which devours everything, however small, yet gives life and spirit to all things, however great. This is a riddle by Voltaire. I'm going to give you a moment to tell me what you think it is. Have you guessed it? The answer is time. This is a tricky one, but have you ever thought about time as being a resource? It is in fact a finite resource, meaning you cannot make more time, but you can only use exactly what's given to you. I know there are a million things vying for your time at this very moment. What do? Just sit there and feel bad and blame all the things that are stealing your time? No, this is where management comes into play. God has given you, like he gave those women in the previous stories, all the resources you need to please him and serve him and live out your destiny. We all have 24 hours in a day. The challenge is to find the little foxes that eat up, waste your time, and savagely get rid of them. For instance, 2 years ago, my giant time waster was binge watching Netflix every night. My excuse was that I was too exhausted every day to be able to do anything else, which actually seems totally valid when you have 4 kids, 6 and under. But there was one problem. One day, I would stand before Jesus, and I just couldn't imagine myself standing in front of Jesus on the day of his coming or on the day of my death, and talking to him about all the time he gave me that I spent binge watching Big Bang Theory. This image was so revolting that I had to change something. So I bit the bullet and I ditched Netflix. You were placed here on this earth for a reason. What this means is that whatever God is calling you to do or serve or to be doesn't just magically appear. You don't just flow by the Spirit into your destiny, but it requires your control in at least 3 different areas. Area number 1 is clarity and motivation. Actually writing down the changes you'd like to see in your life or the character you'd like to develop is a great starting point to be clear in what you want. 2, action. You actually have to start. God is most likely not going to take away all your time wasting temptations. You have to get rid of them. Maybe this means cutting your cable or shutting off your internet. 3, discipline. Using my example of ditching Netflix took discipline. I had to address what I wanted to do with my time instead of Netflix. And even if I felt like vegging out in front of the TV, I had to be steadfast in my choices to not do it. That really required discipline as my brain was hardwired to relax in front of entertainment. Before we end, I have a truth for you and a secret for you. There is a temptation to look around and compare yourself to all these amazing people who are doing great things. The truth is though, no one can be you. God has given you exactly what you need to be faithful to him. Don't look around at everyone and get depressed because they're doing great things and you barely have the capacity to invite someone over for coffee. Here's the secret. If you are faithful in the little things, that's good. That's what Jesus sees. Yes, Jesus has high expectations of you, but they're only based on what your ability is. Sometimes he stretches us because he knows we're able to do more, but he provides you with all that is necessary. Jesus says in Matthew 6:33, it says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Even giving a cup of cold water to the kid down the street on a hot day is seeking the kingdom. So take some time to think about what God has given you, and if there's anything you are wasting or hiding, what are the little moments that you can be faithful in this week?